Hello everyone, welcome back to Spain, and we've moved on a little bit since the game against Tenerife, which I believe at the time I described as a bank robbery, and I stand by that. They had one shot all game in the 94th minute. After 2 minutes of stoppage time were awarded. This is not the first time, you'll remember, that we have been beaten by a goal that was scored well after the allotted extra time has been used up. But after that, we had a 0-0 draw against Ponferradina, which really had me questioning whether I should just knock it back down to top player. Um, I was massively despondent, frankly, after so many bad results in a row and no joy whatsoever. And then out of nowhere, two 1-0 victories. The first one at home against Mirandes, and then the second against Cadiz. Both goals were fortunate enough. The first one, the one against Mirandes, was Berg coming good finally. He won the ball inside the box and slotted past the goalkeeper. This one was a shot from Berg which was spilled by the goalkeeper, and Malejo literally just had to put it into an empty net. I'm perturbed at the fact that I went clear through on goal on the 5th minute with Berg, who has got very good finishing, and with R2 held down as hard as possible, he put it wide. And I'm wondering if part of the difficulty on Superstar actually decreases the accuracy of your shooting as well, or if it's just that my players aren't as good as all that, and maybe the composure went out the window. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas about that, let me know in the comments below. But today we are playing Osasuna, and of course, what will probably happen after two 1-0 victories that I have had off camera, we will probably end up drawing 0-0 or losing this game. So let's get into the game straight away. No time like the present. Let's have a look at the match day squad for the game. We really don't have the squad depth that we can afford to change things around too much. I've actually found that Aga Aketse can play pretty decently as a right wing back. Um, he's not defensively brilliant, but he's okay going forward. That being said, I do prefer having someone of the quality of Degani in that position. And if you look at the overlay of their of their what would you call that? Their skills graphs. Degani, who is in the red, is much better. He's stronger. He's quicker. He's better defensively. He's just as good passing and dribbling. His shooting is the only thing that lets him down. But he's a right back. I'm not expecting him to get too many shots off in the box, frankly. Up front, we're going to stick with Momo and Victor Malejo either side of Berg. And that's pretty much it, I think. We are going to, because for some strange reason we have no defenders on the bench at all, Borja Vale is going to make way for a defender. I think we'll go for... Uh, hmm, let's go for Mesa. That makes more sense to me. And that is pretty much our first 11 for today. Peru got sent off in the first of those two 1-0 victories, and somehow we still managed to come away with the victory. In fact, he can go on the bench instead of Mesa. Sorry, Mesa. And in fact, if we play Peru, if we get him back on, then Arbia is able to play centre back, but also he can play right back, which would give us options off of the bench. He can play left back as well. So that pretty much covers our entire defence with one player, which is great. So anyway, without further ado, no more talking. Let's get down to the action. And we kick off. Now, it might be that my commentary over the top of the videos is what's causing me to not be able to perform quite as well on camera. It does take a higher level of concentration to play well at the higher levels of difficulty, as you will understand. In fact, there's a trick that we all used back in the day when we were playing local co-op with our friends, where if you were getting hammered a little bit, you would just talk to them and ask them a question, and that would take their concentration. They would just take 5% maybe off their concentration, which sometimes was enough to get a result against them. Just a little lapse. So anyway, we're going to see how we do today. After two 1-0 victories, we're hoping that we can carry this good form forward. Perhaps things are clicking. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic about that. Here's Degani on the right-hand side. He's going to try an early cross into the box. Berg, oh, he's put it wide. And again, you see, it's the accuracy issue that I was talking about before. I feel like if we were on top player, that might have troubled the goalkeeper at the very least. But never mind, an early chance, happy to have had it. 2 minutes and 30, we've forced a shot across Osasuna's bow. Dawson restarts. It's not a very long goal kick. Garni gets it at the right back position, plays it over to Galoppo. Willems is outside of him if he needs him, and he does use him. Momo gives it back to Willems. Sommer in an advanced position, gives it to Shibazaki. Galoppo plays it out to Javi Montero, who's playing almost as an auxiliary left back while Willems is so far forward. Into the middle for Shibazaki, plays it into Berg. Tried to play in Momo but couldn't quite find him, and play breaks down, and Osasuna now have the ball on the right hand side. They play it forward into Brandon. Now Inigo Perez. Zucchini. Great tackle from Javi Montero. And he brings the ball forward at pace. Into Momo. Ball played across to Shibazaki, who then spreads play out to the other wing. Here's Degani. He sees the run ahead of him of Moyejo, and he takes it. Moyejo doing a great job of holding his man off. Plays the ball into the box. Can't quite find a man, and it's cleared to Cardona, who's got plenty of defenders around him, and ends up losing out. Peru to Galoppo. Tries to play a direct ball forward into the centre forward. Doesn't quite come off for him, but they've had a little bit of joy here. Berg is on the way through to collect that ball. Plays it back to Willems. He's got men in the box, uses them. I think Momo's offside, and in fact the referee agrees, and the ball bounces off the top of a defender. And yeah, he was fairly offside there, so play will restart with a free kick to Osasuna, which will be taken by Dawson in goal. Lobs it forward. Again, not the longest goal kick in the world. And Berg is just caught on the ball there. He's dawdling a little bit. Great tackle by Degani. That frustrates me though when a player can't get to the ball because the AI won't allow them to just hop over a grounded player. And Osasuna got a chance here, and it goes wide of the mark. One of the good things about this difficulty level is as inaccurate as your strikers are, so are the oppositions. In a way, that does make top player more of a challenge, because if you allow the team that you're playing against to have a chance, they're more likely to get it on target at very least. Into Momo. Now Berg. Takes a shot. Oh, the goalkeeper makes a good save. And it goes out for a corner kick. Berg really just feeding off scraps at the moment, having to make a lot of his own chances here. You see, he just holds the man off, turns, stumbles a little bit, but manages well to get the shot away, keeps his feet. And Dawson happy to have kept the score at 0-0. Here's Willems with the corner kick. It's going to be an in-swinger on his left foot into the box. Berg underneath it. Brandon picks it up, edge of the area. Shibazaki! Thought he had a chance there for a second. Here's Degani. Shibazaki now. Galoppo. Shot from distance. The goalkeeper once again manages to push it around the post. And it goes out of play for a throw-in. Degani tries to play in Shibazaki, but can't quite find the right ball. So instead, Osasuna have possession and they start to come away with it. They're playing very defensively, and I think that's an issue for Deportivo. They find it difficult to break down teams that put men behind the ball. Perhaps they should look at playing more counter-attacking football. It's definitely something that we'll look at in the future. Here's Cardona. They very quickly turn defence into attack here. Good tackle by Peru. And he gets the ball away. Oh dear, that's a slip. This could be costly. Irigoyen. Peru manages to pick up the loose ball. And the ball is played out on the left-hand side here. Momo looking to run through. He's got loose of his man. He's approaching the box, plays it into the centre, and it just takes a deflection. Unfortunate, because Berg was in a great position there to take advantage. If the ball had found its way through, Williams is going to whip one in low and hard. Degani, and the goalkeeper claims it with no trouble. And it's 0-0 at half-time here. Osasuna doing a pretty decent job of holding Deportivo at bay. You can see there's been a large number of chances for Deportivo in this first half. Just going to tell them to be a little bit more flexible. Open up the support range slightly. And go for a counter-attack and see if that helps. Also, during play, I want Malejo to be slightly further out to the right-hand side here. And I'll ask Momo to do the same on the left-hand side. Still playing as centre-forwards. In fact, actually, thinking about it, it might be worthwhile telling them to... maybe not in the case of Momo, although Malejo is able to play as a second striker. Let's try that. He'll buzz in and around Berg, trying to fashion chances for his partner. Here we go. Second half is underway, and Osasuna in possession straight away, trying to get the ball up the pitch to make some kind of chance. They're very good at transitioning. And they've moved the ball into a good position here for Dyer, if he can get the cross in. Willems has lost the ball to him, and the ball now in the centre, and there's a chance here for Osasuna, and the goalkeeper makes a brilliant save at very close range. And they very quickly take the free kick. Oh my word, it's a chance. And it goes behind for another corner. I think perhaps Deportivo caught out by the quick nature of that corner routine, and they did concede a chance there. They have to be a little bit more alive to it on this other side, although it looks like this ball will be flighted in. No, it's another short effort. Zakinia. Now Irigoyen on the edge of the area. Here's Brandon. And they're not struggling to make chances, this Osasuna side, in the second half. Depor will need to really get their wits about them. Here's Galoppo. It's a poor pass. And Osasuna immediately back on the attack, but in turn they give away a poor pass. Leo trying the low percentage ball If it comes off, it's spectacular, but it doesn't come off very often, and all it ends up doing is conceding possession. Kenya, his team are moving very well in attack, fluid motion. Berg looking to get onto the ball, just beaten to it by the defender. Oof. Ball comes loose for Osasuna, but it is picked back up by Sommer. Berg is just tackled far too quickly. Just no space or time on the ball. I'm really struggling to make anything happen when I've got so little time, and it's frustrating, but also it can't be very entertaining to just watch a bunch of 0-0 draws. Perhaps it's time we think about moving back to top player, just so we can have a bit more fun. And then as the challenge backs off, we can look at increasing the difficulty. Because at the moment we don't really have the squad. We don't even have a bench that allows us to make many changes. But we don't really have a squad that can do anything in this league. Here's a front forward ball for Berg, and then into Malejo, and he's offside, I think. It's very tight. Oh, it's very tight indeed. It's a real shame, because it's one of the few openings that Deportivo have had in this game. Tell the central midfielders to push forward a bit more. Give the defenders more to think about and open up opportunities for interplay between the two lines of attack. Here's Malejo. Ball over the top for Berg. Tried to head it on. Seems to have had an instant reaction here. If they're going to sit back, we may as well push men on to challenge them and occupy them. Can't have two defenders on one man when you've got two other teammates of his around them. Javi Montero wins that header easily. Berg through ball to Momo. Oh no, the ball was there for Mollejo if he could just find it, but he couldn't, unfortunately. It's a real shame. But here comes Degani now. Into Shibazaki, back to Degani. Played into Berg. Suddenly Depor looking a little bit more dangerous here, and I think it's the extra numbers that they have in attack. Osasuna still tricky. Could still be a problem for Depor if they're not careful. Monroy plays it into Gonzalez. Out wide to Adrian. Irigoyen. Stretching the defence here with their running. It's a good shot. It's just wide. There's only 5 minutes left here, and I think we are going to see another goalless draw play out. We'll do our best to avoid it, though. Here's Willems into Momo. Momo will have the support of Willems behind him. That's a foul. The referee's going to have to do something about this, and he does with a yellow card for Dyer. Really no need for it. Just went right through the back of the player. appalling stuff. Pavan Montero is going to whip this one in. It's a good header, decent pace, but it didn't challenge the goalkeeper. It was placed a little bit too centrally. Kenia. And Montero intercepts. And here come Deport. Don't think Berg's got the legs to beat his man here. And that's all she wrote for today's match. A 0-0 draw. Apologies, no goals yet again. Let me know in the comments if you think maybe we should be moving down to top player just to inject a little bit more fun into things. Because I mean, if we draw 0-0s all the time like this, it's not going to be very interesting to watch, is it? Here's the stats. You can see plenty of shots for both sides, but just no opportunities taken, really. Decent ratings for both teams. The goalkeeper Dawson getting the man of the match performance. And now, here's the rest of the results and the league table, which you can see we've moved back up into 11th with those 2 wins prior to today's episode. Hopefully we can put a few more wins on the table between now and the end of the season. At the very least, I would like upper mid-table so that we can get the prize money and invest in some better players, some players that suit us a little bit more, and maybe we can start mucking around with formations slightly more. That's going to do us for another episode. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.